Peace. At least 39 people, including 9 children, were killed and more than 58 others injured in a stampede at actor-politician Vijay's rally in Karur, about 400 kilometers from Chennai. The Tamil Nadu police chief reportedly said that Vijay arrived late for the rally. According to DGP in charge of Tamil Nadu, G. Venkatraman, the actor-politician arrived at 7:30 p.m. while the event was scheduled to take place from 3 p.m. Cops also revealed that the organizers had asked for a ground anticipating a crowd of about 10,000 people, but nearly 3 times more arrived. The top cop added the venue lacked sufficient food and water for the crowd during their waiting hours under the hot sun. The official also said that while the rally was planned from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m., crowds started assembling as early as 11 a.m. on Saturday. Talking about the security situation, the official said over 500 police personnel had been deployed, adding that Vijay appreciated cops for their role. While the Tamil Nadu DGP in charge discussed details related to the event in the Stampede, he said the exact reasons behind the tragedy will only be revealed after the inquiry. Well, let's take a look at some other recent Stampede tragedies now that have taken place in the country. Remember, on the 3rd of May 2025, 6 people had died and around 100 others were injured in a stampede in the early hours during an annual festival of Sri Larai Devi Temple at the Shirgaon village in Goa. On January 8, 2025, at least 6 devotees were killed and dozens others injured in a stampede as hundreds of them jostled for tickets for the Vaikunta Dwara Darshanam at the Lord Venkateshwara Swami Temple in Tirumala Hills. Meanwhile, on the 4th of December 2024, a 35-year-old woman died and a boy was injured at the Sandhya Theatre in Hyderabad in a stampede where Allu Arjun's blockbuster Pushpa 2 was being screened. On July the 2nd, 2024, at least 121 people, including women and children, were killed after a stampede broke out at a satsang organized by self-styled godman Bhole Baba, also known as Narayan Sakarhari, in Uttar Pradesh's Hathras. Well, on the 31st of March 2023, at least 36 people died when the slab constructed on top of an ancient Bavdi or well collapsed during a Havan ceremony held on the occasion of Ram Navami at a temple in Indore city. On January 1st, 2022, at least 12 people died and over a dozen were injured in a stampede at the Mata Vishnu Devi shrine in Jammu Kashmir, triggered by a heavy rush of devotees. And lastly, on the 29th of September 2017, 23 people had lost their lives and 36 others were injured in a stampede on the narrow bridge connecting the Elphinstone Road station of the Western Railway with the Parel station of the Central Railway in Mumbai. Belly Thomas is joining us for more details on this story. Belly, it seems that no lessons have been learnt by us. So many different tragedies across different parts of the country, and yet another now, this time in Karur.
Absolutely, Uday. Right now, I'm standing at the very same place where the stampede had happened. It is the Velu Swamipuram here in Karur. The road that you can see here, still the slippers are strewn around, and the magisterial inquiry is yet to happen. A retired High Court judge is said to visit this particular area. You can see the police people deployed here, and you can see that speakers that were there. So this was actually a point where actor turned politician Vijay would come and stop here on his campaign vehicle for his rally. That is, it was an election rally, and the entire road was filled with people. Now, the time is around 3:10 now. I'm on the same road very early, and people have been waiting in. Around 27,000 people have been gathered from this 2 stretches of the road, and these people have been waiting from 3 o'clock, and actor Vijay had arrived only at 7:30 p.m. So imagine, there was no food supplies, there were no water facilities were here. So a lot of people who were kind of suffocated, and they were stuck inside the crowd. They couldn't come out, and there were several people who were going unconscious, and there was an ambulance when Vijay's vehicle, the campaign vehicle, was coming this way. There was an ambulance on the other side that was coming through the crowd, moving slowly so that the people give way to it, and that ambulance was kind of picking all the people who were unconscious, and they were rushing them to the hospital, is what we hear from the sources. So as of now, the scene of crime, the retired High Court judge would visit this place, and he would conduct an inquest. He would ask for eyewitness accounts, and there are several eyewitnesses who say that there are some kind of conspiracy behind this. As and there is also checking on the legality of the permissions that were granted for this massive.
Yes, in fact, the DGP in charge has also given a statement now. What all has he said on this incident so far on record, and what all is still in the ambit of investigation, Veli?
The BJP has also intervened and said that the DMK government has not taken care for certain political parties that are doing a rally here. So it was their bounden duty to protect the citizens from an event like this not to happen. So there were only 500 police personnel headed by an SP ranked officer along with 2 DYSPs deployed here, because the permission was sought for around 10,000 people who would be gathered here, is what initially we were being told. And as time went on, from 3 o'clock until 7:30, there were 27,000 people from the nearby districts like Namakkal also were coming in buses, and they had to get down at some place far away, and they all had to walk to this road to catch a glimpse of actor turned politician Vijay. And Vijay was coming here for the first time in Karur. So his visit is a maiden visit here to Karur, where people were very excited to see him, and there were a lot of children who had told their parents that shut down their shops and take leave. It was a Saturday evening, so that all kind of added on to the crowd getting more in this place. And this place, the Veluswamipuram, was fully filled with wave of people yesterday until 7:30 when this mishap happened, Uday.
All right. In fact, SS Sriram, a political observer, is also with us now in the broadcast. SS Sriram, what do you make of the entire details emerging so far, and who could possibly be at fault here for this tragedy?
Good afternoon. It's quite saddening, to have lost so many lives as of now. Well, I would definitely have two people to blame with. One, the organizers of Mr. Vijay's rally, and the state government, which should have anticipated, the crowd, and they must have taken some proactive measures. Now, most of the times, the state government, when it comes to the opposition rallies or the central government, functions where people can gather at large, some of the infra or some of the, arrangements that needs to be done by the state government has not been done. We saw this even in the Air Force Day, when in Chennai, about 6 or 7 lives were lost because of, want of water and all that stuff. So here, the location is a place where you can't, I'm told, can't gather more than 10,000, where about 28,000 people have moved in. And Vijay, when he had given a time at 12, should have been on time, or at least maybe an hour late, but can't come at 7. That is probably whether they wanted to gather more crowd to give an impression or not, I don't know. 9:45, I'm given to understand that his first addressing was at 9:45 in Namakkal. But I guess I'm told that he left Chennai only by 9:45. I mean, you can't take your people for a ride. If you say you are working for them, you have to be ahead of time and be with them. And I can't accept the fact that that gentleman left Karur in the night and reached Chennai. He must have stayed somewhere nearby, maybe Coimbatore, maybe Trichy. But to come back to Chennai immediately is not a leader who will do. So what is he going to do tomorrow in a current situation of a state government, if at all, if he wants to head the state? A lot of learning even for people not to go behind actors, because that is only going to get them misery. It's not going to get them any happiness. I mean, it's a lot of issues to a lot of people. So that is where, but my heart goes
SS Sriram,
down to
we've seen many political stampedes. We've seen many other stampedes as well across the country. Be it at railway stations or at over bridges, or of course at temples, of course at other gatherings as well. Why aren't lessons learned from these? Why do such incidents keep repeating?
That is exactly my point as well. And if at all political parties must take, irrespective of any political party, they must take responsibility for the crowd gathering. I mean, they can't just take people for granted to show their strength, to show their might. You can't take people to ransom, bring them on the road and make them lose their lives. I mean, there should be a social responsibility from the so-called political leaders. I mean, this is exactly what Mr. Vijay lacked. I mean, at least the least he could have done is to hang around there to see what best you can do to people. I mean, running away from that location is the biggest mistake which I think he has done. This is a lesson to all political parties. We saw the celebration in Bangalore go wrong with the IPL, where the gathering of people, the state governments should take the proactive measure to save.
Well, you know, there are two
lives
ways of
innocent
looking
people.
at it. One, of course, as you're saying, is that he left from the scene. The second is, if perhaps he had moved more, there would have been, you know, further stampede because of the uncontrollable nature of the crowd as well. But let me also address some more breaking news coming in the latest.